Welcome agents, how are you all doing this evening? As you can see in the background, my DPS for this sniper is 2.65 million, and that's from one shot. Now if you didn't know, you can actually get the Nemesis Sniper or Exotic Sniper right now. There's a couple of ways of doing it. I will leave a link probably in the description below for showing you guys how to actually get it. But this Exotic is truly exotic in respect of how much damage it actually does. And this build is not min-maxed by any means. I've simply thrown on stuff where I can get as much damage as possible to try and do as much damage as possible. This exotic sniper will easily do over 3 million DPS from just one shot. Let's not forget, this is just one shot, guys. This is not me using loads of shots at once, so that's what makes this so powerful. So, the Nemesis Sniper. Let's just quickly go over it here, and I've talked about this before, but we'll just go over the talents here. So, counter sniper, shots fired deal 0 to 100% weapon damage based on how long the trigger is held before releasing. The time to reach max weapon damage is reduced whenever a shot does not kill an enemy it hits. Nemesis, aiming at an enemy marks them as your nemesis 15 seconds, letting you see them through walls. Your shots gain plus 5% damage to your nemesis for each second they are marked to a max of 50%, while hosted gain plus 25% headshot damage when scoped with your current weapon. So, yeah, essentially what you have to do, it's kind of like a railgun where you have to hold it down and basically you have to actually aim at a target for a certain period of time, 15 seconds basically. That'll give you the max amount of damage, and then you've got to basically hold down the trigger and fire it, and you're going to do crazy damage, which I'll showcase in one moment. Now, as I said, the build itself is nothing special, and this isn't really a build video, but I'll go over it for you guys. This is more of like just showcasing you how strong the Nemesis can be and why you want to get it. Basically, this is going to be a PvE destroyer. I did at first wonder if this was going to be a bit of a problem in PvP, but actually I don't think it will be. It would be very hard to use in PvP, so and very situational at best. So for PvE, what I've done is I've run for damage to elites on everything, really, as you can see here. None of this, like I said, none of this stuff means anything. I haven't picked Overlord for the rifle damage. I've just picked everything with damage to elites. Now I did test this with headshot damage, and it appeared that the damage to elites, or 15% damage to elites, was stronger. Hence why I've gone for damage to elites as opposed to like precise with that 15% headshot damage. I've also got it on my gloves here. So one of my, where's the gloves down here? Murakami gives you precise, well, sorry, this Murakami glove has got 15% headshot damage, but I actually found 15% damage to elites, again, is stronger. Now, as you can see, this has SMG damage on. It's adding no value. And with the title update 3 coming out, with the recalibration station, I was going to actually make a video about this. You are able to actually roll over almost max stats now. So I do have, where's the piece here? I have a 12% marksman rifle damage on one of these pieces. I think I went back, here we go. 12% marksman rifle damage here. So if I was to put that on here, I mean, that's making a massive difference. An extra 12% damage is crazy. Now, looking at the backpack here, it's a 511 tactical. It's actually only got one mod slot. It's got weapon damage on here, which weapon damage is fine, and it's also got damage to elites as well, which again is fine. Now, if we go on to the mask, again, we've got damage to elites. The attribute itself is only 33% damage to elites. That could go up to about 45%, I believe. So again, missing 12% damage to elites here. And unfortunately, I think this is only going to roll a utility spot. So what you want to try and get is somewhat with an offensive slot. I don't think I've got any offensive slots here. Maybe I'll just, this doesn't have it on, but yeah, we don't have any offensive. I think I can get offensive. No, I can't. So yeah, what you're going to want to get is obviously somewhat with an offensive slot, with damage to elites as an attribute, with hard hitting as the talent as well. And that will just ensure that you do the most damage possible. And of course, you want to be making sure you get as much offensive stats as possible as opposed to defensive stats, because again, you're going to do more damage. Going off the chest piece, Sokolov Concern, SMG damage makes no difference. This has got headshot damage on and 2% weapon damage. I do actually have a piece here, which I'm just going to quickly grab in. So this has got damage to elites. If this didn't have damage to elites on, then I would be swapping it over for this Alps Summit Armament piece here. It's got 20% headshot damage. And obviously the goal here, or the god roll, is high headshot damage, high weapon damage with hard hitting on there. and that way you're going to do the most damage possible. And again, when it comes to the actual gear, then of course you want to be getting 3-piece Ariada holdings. Okay, so Ariada holdings will give you accuracy, headshot damage, and marksman rifle damage. I actually am not sure if it falls under the marksman rifle category. I've not actually checked that. Let me just have a look. It is a marksman rifle. I did think it would be. So you want to obviously be getting 3 pieces of Ariada holdings, headshot damage, weapon damage wherever possible, of course. And then if you can get hard hitting as well, then you're going to be doing a hell of a lot of damage. So lastly here again, it doesn't matter, but we've got damage to elites here. So if I quickly go, if I could change this Ariada holdings piece over to damage to elites with hard hitting, then I would. And the same for gloves. I do have some Ariada holdings gloves, like these ones have the marksman rifle damage. I can't change the compensated here yet because I don't have the ceramics, which again as another. Anyway, I'm not going to get negative, but they need to up those ceramics and stuff, because if we're going to start recalibrating more often, they're going to become a bit of a problem. And I think you can get Ariada holdings on a backpack as well, so you want to be getting them in these 3 places here. You want to make sure you're getting hard hitting on all 3 pieces. You're going to be wanting to make sure that with this piece, I'm not sure if you can actually roll headshot damage as an attribute here. You guys will have to let me know. I don't think you can. I don't think you can even roll weapon damage, so that could become a bit of a problem. If you can only roll Ariada holdings in these 3 places, then you'll just have to probably may do with that. And then, of course, with backpack, you want weapon damage, and you want hard hitting, and gloves, you want marksman rifle damage, as well as hard hitting as well. And in the other 3 pieces, it's simply a case of just getting those damage to elites. So with that out of the way, I mean, I'll just quickly show my stats, which honestly, I've not even looked at these yet, so this will be the first time for me as well. If we look at headshot damage, 101%. I mean, that's pretty low for a marksman rifle, but it makes no difference, and that's why this is so beautiful, guys. So this target, right, just don't laugh at my aim, alright? This target's a little bit further away than I'd like, so what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I'm aiming on this target, and they got that little buff above their head. Now, let me test it here, because I'm not sure. I basically tested this where that buff goes completely away, and then I've tried it, and I'm sure the damage doesn't apply. But let's just try it a minute. So that's gone. Oh yeah, the buff started again. Okay, so I need to do it before the end, basically. So there's 2.12. So if I do it again, and hopefully my aim will actually hit this on the head. So what you want to be doing is making sure you're hitting it just before that buff ends, and that way you're getting the most amount of damage as possible. Remember, it probably takes about 3 or 4 seconds to charge up, and then you should be about there. 2.657209, so that's 2,657,209 damage, and that is consistent. Obviously, if you do it quickly, then it's not going to do anything. But as you can see, it one-shots elite NPCs. Well, let me just kill this elite NPC, and we'll have another quick go here so you guys can see it. So let's just hit this target in front of us here. So this is, again, difficulty named. This is a named boss. And generally, named boss, and the problem with this, sometimes named bosses are just stood around. I mean, generally they are walking. So it's going to be actually pretty hard to use. But if you can pull this off, then you're going to be absolutely destroying. If you can min-max this build as well, then, I mean, there's absolutely no chance for elite targets. They're just going to get absolutely melted. 2.6, yeah, so it's just consistent. I haven't actually, I assume the damage doesn't change depending on the target. Because I assume if I go to an elite MP, this could be a very newbie here, guys. But I'm sure it does. I mean, I know I'm going to one-shot this, no problem. But let me just see. Is there like a max amount of damage that you can do to an elite target? I've never actually. I didn't know. Let me just quickly check this, guys. 1 minute. Oh, I did this a little bit too early, to be honest. No, it's still the same. So yeah. I mean, one-shot named enemies with this, and this again is not the perfect build at all. This is literally me just throwing gear together to make this video so you guys can see just how powerful this Nemesis Sniper is. This is not a build video, and I won't be titling it that way either. This is simply just to show you why you should be getting the Nemesis, because it is an absolutely PvE monster. These talents are really cool. I like the fact that it's like a railgun. I know in the original video I did about the Nemesis I was talking about explosive damage, but I look back on that and I'm an idiot. I apologise. Basically, this is like a railgun. You have to hold it down. And to be honest, if you're waiting 15 seconds to look at a target before you then got to pretty much charge up at about the 12th second, then as long as that elite NPC isn't moving, then you know you're going to destroy them very, very quickly. But anyway, guys, that was it. I just wanted to make this video for you guys so you can see exactly what this Nemesis Sniper can do. And again, this is not the best. It will easily do over 3 million damage once it's min-maxed. Going into title update 3.0, I don't know how this build, obviously the Nemesis will fare. I hope it doesn't get nerfed because I think it's actually interesting. It's actually an interesting weapon. It's not going to be easy to use. And if you use it, if you can hit your shot, then you're going to be rewarded for that. And that's exactly what we need in the game. Anyway, until next one, guys. Epic out.